Syria's years-long war has entered into a new phase of combat. Here's what's been happening. Opposition-held areas in Syria have been under attack from pro-Assad forces for over a decade, even after de-escalation zones were established at the 2017 Astana talks between the Syrian regime and opposition, with Iran, Russia, and Turkey acting as guarantors. On November 26, regime forces bombed a school in Ariha on the outskirts of Idlib, killing several people. The following day, groups led by al-Sham launched Operation Deterrence of Aggression, swiftly capturing Idlib and Aleppo and advancing towards Hama as regime forces retreated south, transferring control of some areas to the PKK-YPG terror group. On November 30, the Syrian National Army launched Operation Dawn of Freedom in areas under PKK-YPG's control in northern Syria, capturing Tel Rifat, which had been occupied by the group for 8 years. In response, Syrian and Russian strikes killed at least 56 civilians across the two northern cities in 6 days. The opposition's advances have also reignited protests in regime-held areas such as Sweda and Daraa. However, these protests were met with violence as regime forces opened fire on the demonstrators. After capturing Aleppo for the first time since 2011, the opposition took immediate steps to consolidate its control.
أي شيء تعتازوا نحن برا نحن بخدمتكم ما جينا نروعكم أنتم إن شاء الله عنا آمنين إن شاء الله بس إجراء روتيني.
It conducted thorough security sweeps and freed prisoners from regime-run detention centers, including long-held political prisoners.
ما بقى في سجون وما بقى في بيت الأسد المنطقة حرة.
At the same time, an influx of displaced Syrians and NGO volunteers made their way to Aleppo, sparking emotional reunions among families after years of separation.
رجعنا يا أكرام رجعنا قلبي مدمرة معلش قلبي.
Activists and other groups, however, have advised against public gatherings amid pro-regime strikes in Aleppo and Idlib. So far, the opposition has gained significant ground, capturing key locations, including airports, key roads, government buildings, and military checkpoints. The anti-regime groups have also seized important ammunition stockpiles and military vehicles left behind by retreating regime forces, bolstering their strategic position in the region. Meanwhile, the regime's head of state, Bashar al-Assad, has vowed to use force to regain control, while his ally Iran promised continued support. Russia, meanwhile, dismissed the general who was in charge of its forces in Syria during the operation as it continues shelling opposition-held areas. Al-Assad has also held conversations with several other state representatives in search of support. Hundreds of thousands of people have been killed and millions have been displaced due to the regime's brutal policies since 2011, when Al-Assad began violently suppressing anti-government protests. Will this phase of the war change the fate of the country and offer a chance for its people to return home?